Good afternoon, everyone. I see many familiar faces here, like Robert. Welcome to our session. I'm Jianxia, Product Manager for Web AppBuilder. Here with me, Moxie. I think you guys already know he's the Director of R&D Center. Jimu Library was named by him. Okay, let's get started. Good news. What's new and what's coming? So we talk about Web AppBuilder new and enhancements quickly. Since last year, we have new theme called Pocket theme and new widgets, thread analysis, visibility, cost analysis. So Pocket theme is designed for embedded app in a website with only one widget for simplicity. Visibility widget is decided what is visible from an observer location based on distance, height, and field of view. And thread analysis basically is for public safety and the first responder to decide the safe distance and zones during an event. Cost analysis assign a cost factor and provide an overall project cost. This is new features. And key enhancements we have, first, barrier layers in directions, right? A lot of people say, I don't want to click on the map to add my barriers. I want to have a layer in the map assigned as a barrier layer so I can do the directions against it. This requirement is from hurricane situation, right? They want to know how to get to the hospital, but a lot of roads, a lot of places are blocked. So they want to have a layer there. Select multiple values for field in filter. I think it's common requests. I will do demo later on. We refactor time slider to support relative time span. And for analysis widget, we add living atlas layer. So you can choose a layer from living atlas. And then some new tools. Most important thing is for ArcGIS Enterprise. Sometimes you don't know which tool requires an advanced server, which tool require utility services. So we have documentation there in the developer side. Go to check it out under analysis widget. For 3D, we can do the feature search on 3D. Last year we add measurement for the height, distance. This time we add area as well. I will do demo. For editing, Smart Editor and Edit widget. So we support attribute actions and the related table in Smart Editor. For Edit widget, we support related feature editing. If you want to know more information about these capabilities, stop by our session in the demo theater tomorrow at 4 o'clock. We have a session called Overview of Editing Capabilities for Web AppBuilder. Swipe, basically we allow you to swipe multiple layers at one time. This is also a requirement from situational awareness. A hurricane happens, they have so many satellite images there. One image is one layer. They want to be able to slide all the widgets at one time to do the comparison between the before and the after. Another few things is for handy enhancement. So many layers in the layer list, you just type the name to search it. Or you can search a feature based on your coordinates in the search box. Query, basically, sometimes query results could be 10,000. So it's slow performance, right? So we do the pagination, so that basically just 10,000 or based on your settings on the feature services. So we pagination, so performance is better. Okay, let's do a quick demo. So I have this insurance data here, but based on coverage, right? I want to filtering out things. We are familiar with this step. Now, this one, I want to filtering against the policy type. If you notice, we have this new condition, is any of or is none of. If we add is any of, they give me options. You have multiple values you can select against it. Here is multiple or predefined. I will talk about predefined later on. Let's do the multiple first. So then ask for values. It's okay. So if I turn on my filter, I can do multiple selections. Auto, HO2, HO4. So basically, you can do things easily with this new enhancement. This one, clear out all selections, or if I have select two, I just make two visible. So you basically have a very handy tools play around with it. This happens very handy because you have so many options there, so people can do multiple selections instead of you have to create every expression for each fields, right? Another cool part, in this case, I only have 4, it's not a big deal, but if you have something more like, here, you can do predefined selection. What that really means is I can add values. Double click. I can define which option I want to add for people to do the selection. If I have multiple 10, 20 selections, maybe it's too much. I only care about 3 of them. I just predefine of them. HO4, I think is good. Now, save it. In this case, you only see 2 options, right? I can limit it, how many options I can have in the filter. Okay, this is the enhancement for the filter widget. Another one is 3D, right? This is 3D. We all know that. I really like to use dashboard theme to play around with 3D because I can design my own layout in this way. For this widget, I'm going to add measurement. Here, I have options of area and distance, and also options to configure the units. Now I'm going to do the 3D on the area. So give me the area and the parameters. I also can change to different, feet or meters. The value will be changed automatically. Then you want to make a new measurement, you just click it, right? Then let's do the distance. I think we saw this one before, but I just want to give you another example. Okay, so for 3D, you can measure area and the distance. key enhancements for developer. So we have added a coordinate control class so that you can develop against this coordination. Basically, a few of our public safety widgets are using the same component. For the admin, so a lot of people complain I'm an admin, but developer edition I cannot see others people's app. Right now, admin can see everyone's app. We also, a lot of people say, how we can do the unit testing because it's important to do the custom widgets testing, right? So we share our practice in the development team in Beijing. That's what we are using, those methods. We share here in the development documentation. If you go here, to go to the guide, developer widget, best practice for unit testing. That's the method we are using. What's coming? This year, we are working hard on accessibility support 508 WCAG. We plan to make initial support announcement in March with online update, with a set of widgets and the theme. Theme for sure will have football theme will be there, and the pocket theme will be there. Widgets, basically we select most popular widgets in the public app, like Share, Legend. Those widgets will support accessibility. So give it a try and let us know what you think about that. We will deliver this feature through incremental releases. May take a few releases for all the widgets and theme to be there, but we are committed to do so. In March, we will have network trace new widget and the business analyst. In March is network trace widget. Basically, behind the scene costs your processing services. That takes a point feature in and out as other feature sets. For example, you can provide the location of a main break and determine the isolated area. In UC release, we will have business analyst widget. Lots of people using business analysts, they want to have a quick, easy way to deliver their infographics and the classic reports. This widget is for that. Okay. What's coming, really, really coming? Let's turn over to Moxie.
Okay. All right. So we covered the Web AppBuilder, what's new area, right? But looking a little bit further, that's the next section we're going to talk about. Web AppBuilder has been very, very successful. Thanks to all of you here. That's we're trying to help our partners and the users, and you really did it. That's very great. And there's some number speaks, right? And right now we have almost half million apps created. That's just online. And every day there's 1,000 apps created in an online environment. And we're very happy about it. However, the world is changing, right? And we cannot just stand still. And we cannot just merely add features, functions, to the existing systems, because a lot of things are changing and happening. Like in the technology world, web technology are not just stand still. Actually, there's a better way actually to do an application and create better user experience. And the mobile become the major platform people are going to use for life and for the works. And the computing automation actually getting more intelligence. All that is changing for business as well. And I talk a lot of customers and partners. Actually, you're starting not just do a little bit of GIS stuff, right? Actually, you're becoming an enabler. You build larger solutions to support larger business and functions. And you take your actual GIS or geospatial technology to some places I've never heard of it. So all that actually is driven that we have to do something to support you, not just, and add a little bit here and there over time and release after the next release. So with all that reason, we actually have another leap forward. We have this new product, we call it Experience Builder. And you probably, a lot of people already heard about it. There's something new is coming out, and that's what it is. In a nutshell, really, this is next evolution, next generation of Web AppBuilder. It's built on top of 4x JavaScript API. And people ask, what exactly is experience? There's some definition here. I'm not talking too much of the details, but really, it's when people actually interact with your system or computer environment, what you feel, your cognitive feedback, that's experience. And they're coming from your web items. They could be web pages, web apps, or anything present from the web experience people feel about. That's the experience. And there's some attributes from that. And the better experience should be using the latest UI UX way of presenting your information. And the mobile first should be part of the experience. And we don't like the word mobile friendly. That's a little bit off. We need mobile first way of doing our business so that when the people at the mobile devices, really they can enjoy it, not just the afterthought, right? So in the end, when you're doing works, it should be very simple and joyful. That's the experience we have. And from technical part of it, I think a lot of you are developers. And the experience basically still the web page. It's a web environment from the browsers, right? We support a lot of stuff like JavaScript API and AMD to help you load the stuff dynamically faster. And I'm using PWA to have a better performance and server-side rendering, and et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of technical things we're adapting actually to help to have this good experience. So that's what experience is. And when we say we can have an experience builder to realize that goal, then there's a design goal we have. So to summarize that from technical standpoint, we're going to use the modern web technology, right? And mobile first design. As I said, we don't want to be just mobile friendly. You want to really, really enjoy using your mobile devices to run your experience. Still, it's going to be configurable, expandable. As a developer, you still can do a lot of stuff similar to Web AppBuilder. And for business user, you can configure your using the builder to generate the web experience. So for business, there's nothing changed really. We want a better, cheaper, managed, simpler way to do your business, and save your energy, save your resource, save your money. All that saves become value added. You don't have to do the coding. You focus on your business need. So we change a lot of stuff, but there's something we're never going to be changing. That's the part of it. We'll keep it with Experience Builder. Later on, I'm going to do a quick demo, so I'll just give you a quick explanation as well. It's like, hey, if you see the experience, what exactly is experience? And on the screen, really, it's just, this is like a normal web page, right? And you don't have that with Web AppBuilders, but for Experience Builder, there's lot of flexibility in terms of how do you present your data, how do you present your context, dynamic contents or static content, right? And on the screen, you can have just normal web stuff, header, text area, or you have some kind of dynamic numbers on it. And you still can have a map, but you don't have to do the whole map-centric kind of approach. You can have a page, but still, you can go back and you can still do the map-centric things as Web AppBuilder does. Everything will be covered. And on this page, right, everything's still widget. So that developer can go in, even the simpler text widget, you can write code behind the scene and do fancy stuff. So you're at your hand as developer, you can do that. So that's really it, the web experience. For end user, hopefully, with all this good stuff we put in there, you can have a really, really good user experience. You don't have to just look at the map all the time. You can look up some other fancy stuff. So that's the one example. Now, and if you summarize, there's 3 big changes, 3 big significant things coming from the experience builder, and I would just put these 3 on top. First of all, we actually redesigned the core framework, or the GMU framework. We totally redesigned it. We thinking about the goal I mentioned earlier, how we're going to support the change, technology, business, support you guys doing the solution, things like that. So we're coming back saying, let's re-architect the whole core, right? And of course, it's built on 4X. It gives us opportunity to do that. And you're going to have a new way to create a new user experience for your desktop, browser-based, and for your mobile devices. And also, you can do more. You can actually extend the builder. And if you're a really, really good developer, you want to do something new, we actually have partners that actually generate new way of generate new products through the builder. So you can actually configure and extend the builder itself. Before you cannot do that. And the new builder architecture support you built very complex or complicated solutions, not just one-off app and you throw out there like people using it. You actually can build a pretty complex solution. One example is internally we have this product called ArcGIS Hub. You should know that. And the new hub can be built on top of using our experience builder architecture to do a lot of internal, automation and configuration and things like that. So that's the purpose. You can do really, really good solutions for your business, not just one single app. And the last but not least is that we want to manage the things you generate, right? And as I said again, every time you generate something, this has a life cycle. You want to see how people are using your stuff, the page, the web application, how you can continue optimize this, right? It's the things that it's broken because some other web app is available. All that we want to manage that for you. So basically, to help you optimize the whole life cycle your web item generate from the experience builder. But that's coming later. So in terms of product, we're going to still have 3 products and make it available to you. One is the online edition. That means a part of ArcGIS Online, just like a Web AppBuilder. You're going online, you can access the experience builder. And we're going to have an enterprise edition, aka the portal edition in the Web AppBuilder world. And a developer edition, of course, for developers, you can take it and do whatever you want it, right? A quick timeline. So in June, part UC, we're gonna have a beta release, so everybody gonna have a hand on it. In June, we'll have a developers edition. You can go download and start playing with it, and also online edition. And the final release will be in the 4th quarter of this year, and that will also include developers edition, online edition. And the enterprise edition will be coming earlier next year, as usual. So that's pretty much the release plan we have. So that's when you can have it. Just watch out before you say you're gonna have it. Other than that, so we still have time. We're gonna show you what this looks like a peek review and kind of thing. Then we start, have some Q&A sessions.
I know you guys will have a lot of questions, so we leave enough time for you. So let's see sneak peek of Experience Builder. If you're back to here in the builder, this is very similar to Developer Edition, right? So
it's not rendering.
Oh, it's not. I need to. Thank you. Okay, so this is, instead of create a new web app builder application, we create a new experience, right? So I already create here. I just open it. This is the builder. On the left part is the content. we have page, we have content management, we have this data source management on the left part. On the right part is all the settings. We all know, very familiar with that, all the widget settings are on the right panel. In the middle is canvas. We are going to draw. One big change for the data source, so you can add a data source, maps, feature layer at app level, not at individual widget level, right? It's at app level. This is pretty good. Let me see very quickly how we can create apps. For example, here, I'm going to add text, image. Image and browse to.
So trust me, on the computer it looks much better because this move it out. Yeah.
So at the image, I can set and adjust the size of the image here and set image properties to fix auto fit container. Now I'm double click this to add some text. I need copy paste. Something I cannot type. Okay, done. Right, so I set this, stretch out and align this text with image together. Done. I can set the font, whatever here. You can adjust the font, the color, everything, right? Just text editor. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Bold. Do we have color? Yes, we have color. Okay, this is not good. Let's pick this. Black is better. You get idea. We have this UI, UX intuitive way to align different things together, right? The next, I'm going to add list and a map. We are familiar with the map, right? So let's line up these two things here, give us some space between these two rows. I put margin here, it's 20, maybe 8, it's good. Then for the map, we all know map very well. Important thing here, you can have a single 2D and 3D. So we only have one map. We don't have scene. One map depends on your data source. If you load in scene, it's a scene 3D. If loading map, it's 2D. In this case, I load in both. I want to switch both. I choose integrate 2D and 3D view. And for the data source, this is my map. This is the scene. I choose both. You see here, turn on the tools on the map. Now, I set properties of the map to auto fit container. Is that pretty cool? Okay. Yeah, get it so fast. Okay, I'm excited. So here, I can adjust the map size to line up with above image. Just make it looks like a professional. Okay, data source for the list, right? The content is here. I set data source. Pick a layer in the map. Right now, it's layer in the scene. I'm going to connect to that layer, display all the landmarks in New York City. So here, select a field for the image, a field for the landmark name, and I can set link. Basically, say I link each feature to another page that have more information about these landmarks. So, looks good. Oh, by the way, I forgot survey 1, 2, 3 because I want to add some feedback. Add a survey, then choose an existing survey I've created. A survey 1, 2, 3 form, give them insert there. make a style the way I like. Done. Oh, not done yet, because I want to do something on the header. Here, on the header, I want to add a menu so that they know how to navigate around the pages. So on my page here, I already have home and another page called details. So this menu automatically detect I have 2 pages. Cool. Then the pages there, make it line up to the right perfectly. I think I'm ready to see it in live view. Turn on live view. Okay, here, 2D switch, 3D switch back. It's cool. And then click. Go to the details page. It'll give me all information about details. It looks like pop-up in the app, right? We use pop-up. Display all the attributes, imagery, attachment, the location of selected features. Now we put them on a page that makes it look much nicer. Now go back to the home. I see the same, right? This is just very quick sneak peek. Okay, I think I'm done. I'm going to submit my feedback. I like Music Box Theater in New York. Done. So, just a sneak peek. If we spend a little bit more time, the app we just built may look something like this, right? This is the imagery. This is so 1, 2, 3. (2D and 3D switch). 2D here, 3D here, pretty cool. Then go to this, I can have multiple maps. This is another map, right? I see switch to different views. Very similar to a story map series template. You have different views to see things. Here is a feature landmarks just for fun. So how about mobile first design? We said that, right? Let's switch the size here. It's responsive, right? Landmark here.
Oh. Move the center.
Move in the center?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good suggestion. So I like to show the 3D and 2D switch because it looks so cool. And it is, it's different. You notice, right? On the desktop, when I show this one, there's a map associated with this view, right? But for the mobile, I don't need map. So I can configure the same app differently on the mobile from desktop. Okay, this one, remember, we have a map here. Now we don't have it because mobile doesn't need that. For this feature, I like to click this one, then go back to the details, then come back home. Let me show it again. If I go down to the desktop version, you will see this one map here, right? That's the point. Because on the mobile, we don't want to show too much because screen size, right? So we give you a way to configure the way you want. That's the power of Experience Builder. Like it? As we said, if you want to build Web AppBuilder style app, you still can do so because we have templates like here, exactly the same like theme. You click one, the build the app you want. So depends on what kind you want to build the app with fixed screen. You choose that template. You will do Web AppBuilder style. You want to build multiple pages. You choose a template. Will have multiple pages. The most important thing, if something you don't like it, like you can configure in your way at your own touch. You don't need to do from scratch. I just show doing it from scratch. Another way is if I'm doing it from scratch, that template can save into the builder, then to be able to share with the rest of organization. They can use that template to do things as well. So we listen to your feedback, right? You want to have add your own configuration, your own touch on the template, on the theme. You want to have a save out. The whole company only have one look and feel template. You design that way, you can do so. The builder is configurable, right? Builder, I don't need those 9 templates. I only need one template. I don't need so many widgets because some of our widgets our organization never use it. You can configure what kind of widget you want to put. So that's another important piece of builder. Like it? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Back to Moxie.
Switch to that. All right, before you ask question, I'll answer one first. So, we talked about Web AppBuilder and also Experience Builder, what they're related together, right? So that's probably one of the questions you're going to ask. So now Experience Builder is the next generation of Web AppBuilder that is done. And of course, there's more. And we don't have a plan really to replace obsolete Web AppBuilder because there's tons of apps created using Web AppBuilder, and we have partners build their solutions on top of a Web AppBuilder. So we don't want to really disrupt your business. So that's the two builders going to be running in parallel, could be maintained. Obviously, there's differences, right? There's Experience Builder support 4X, have 2D integration. So based on your needs, you can have your own plan or pace to do the transition or adapting. That's up to you. But along the way, we're supporting you. That's the things we're going to have. So continue, we're going to support and make the Web AppBuilder available. And that's really how these two related together. So you already have the release plan. That's June time. You can have that, so you can start playing with it. And in terms of the future of Experience Builder, I already talked about that we're gonna do more. And what you see, James, I just showed you, is just the part of a sort of a new thing that Web AppBuilder cannot do. But along the way, we're gonna cover all the functionalities coming from the Web AppBuilder. And another part is for, we talk about the experience, right? Experience is something really you need to make your application better, looking better, the usability will be better. And as someone said, everybody has a designer inside. We want to really unleash that designer out of it. So we're going to have some new capabilities coming out of the builder, like we're going to have a theme builder, to help you, have tools to help you design your themes, design your templates, so that your application going to be relatively simple and easier to build your own branding, your own good-looking applications. And also you've seen there's a lot of flexibility there once you get a hang of it to build your unique, good-looking system. You're not confined by templates or themes, really. The sky's your limitation in terms of your creativity. So that's really coming from the Web AppBuilder, Experience Builder. So, let's have some questions and answers if you have one. Gentleman here? No, sorry. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
So I have customers right now, they're building pages on sites.
Okay.
How is that going to be different than your Experience Builder, I guess?
Yeah. Now, sites, that's a similar story. Now, sites is part of, right now they're working on the part of a hub environment. So that's a site builder things, right? And over time, that's what I mentioned earlier, the ArcGIS hub kind of more and more rely on the Experience Builder, the GMU library, the core, to do the building or configuration aspect of it. And at the beginning, you're going to see, there's a site, there's some other, aspect for that they're going to use in the Experience Builder. But over time, it will become the one thing. Yeah. So the question was how the developer's edition can be deployed, right? Yeah, that story hasn't been changed. It's the same as Web AppBuilder.
Yeah. The development pattern is the same. Deployment is the same.
That's great.
What's the web technology used to build that?
Yeah, the question is what's the web technology to build the thing? And underneath we're using React. And there's a React under, we're going to use the React development pattern even for widget development. We have a React smarter, underneath, but the React is one you need to learn actually. But a lot of JavaScript developers are already familiar with that, right?
So JavaScript API require TypeScript. So it recommended TypeScript. So we will build JavaScript API using TypeScript to write widgets with the React.
Right.
So if you say for developers, what kind of skills that require to extend in the widgets? Two things. One, React. Second, TypeScript.
Yeah.
That makes sense? Okay, cool. Plus Gmo library.
Yeah, on this side, it was too many on this side, yeah. Go ahead.
So how do you configure the map to only show up in the desktop version, but not show up in the mobile version?
Because here I didn't show we will have desktop and mobile configuration here. So let me.
So, when we actually, there's a way of doing a mobile support, we call it responsible design, right? But that thing is not good enough, and also can getting very, very complex in terms of loading stuff. So the way we're trying to do it is that you can really fine-tune that how you want to show things on mobile devices. So on the builder, we can have a tab. Right now, it's not everything there. So once you get in there, you can actually say on the mobile devices, you can configure a little bit further, right?
So here is desktop. If you switch to the mobile, the mobile view, you can configure things here.
Right.
Then you can remove it. The builder is not there yet. We just write configure.json file directly in that baked app. But
Right.
for the mobile, will be there. That's our design.
Two separate experiences for the builder, one for mobile, one for desktop.
It is, just different component, different look and feel, but just best fit the product.
This is going to be when you design your widget, there might be consideration how you actually present your widget on mobile devices or where's the desktop story. And later on, once we release, you're going to have all that and make it available. Basically, the general design goes is that as a configurator, you can take more control in terms of how you want to present your content, right? Not just totally rely on underneath the codes to automate the responsive design. That's a little bit too much, right?
So, but basically, you say, I don't want to touch mobile design. It's fine. When you're from desktop to mobile, we will automatically lay out for you. You like it, then you take it. You don't like it, you can make your own touch. Yeah, you don't need to do all the work.
Right.
So the web app developer vision documentation is kind of problematic. Plan to improve the application.
Yeah, definitely we can do a lot more. We add more resource actually on the documentation part of it. We know that the Web AppBuilder really started as totally developer focused. Now we have make it product focused. That means everything around the product we want to do it right, start from the beginning. So that's a good critics, but it's helpful.
It is very, very important. Yeah, we realize that, and thanks for being with us. Tolerance us for so long for the documentation part.
Do you support the configuration of permissions for different users for the different parts of the application?
So your question is based on the user's role, you want to show what kind of thing can be seen by the user role.
That's the question for every configurable or component-based application. Really, it's a really, really hard to answer that question. Every company has their own solution. Now, having said that, there are some way to deal with it. But this is a front-end technology right now, because what you're asked. Now, basically the question is, because this is all configured, there's different parts on the web page, right? And some enterprise people really ask the question is that we want to fine-grain control which part of the application we want to use based on people's security rule or authorization. Right, and I would say we need to take that offline. It's a very hard question to answer because there's involved the whole IT system. How do you set up things? How do you want to do things, right? And it's a good question, but I know this one existing for I don't know how many years, but right. But I don't have straight answer, really. Yeah. Go ahead. I didn't get your question. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, and that's another fine point of technical things. Yes, we actually work with like a hub. There are a lot of requirements. We want the application SEO friendly. You probably understand what I mean, right? So that means there's a lot of link, whatever, we're gonna have a permanent the URL associated with it, so that your page can be indexed by search engine if you wanted to, so that it have a better SEO support. Yeah.
Yes.
I was going to ask this after, but my specific case is kind of like that. The share widget. It would be really great if we could share, kind of like, you know how you can filter and say, I want to see parcels that are zoned R1 and that are maybe worth more than $100,000 and are owned by the city of, city of
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if we could share, if the share widget is specific, that would be the biggest application for us. I can say that Brian is and parameters in the URL to the share widget.
Yeah.
So filter basically.
Yeah, actually it's a related question. Like if you're like, once you get into the application within a certain context, you want to share the context by URL to some, that actually is one of the requirements when we work with ArcGIS Hub team. They want to have the share capability. Actually, there's a share widget being developed. So now that question also in a way is depends, right? Because some people want to share, some people doesn't want to share. We want to have fine-tuned control on that. Technically, we try to come up with a solution for that. Like we use a share widget to control it.
Just to follow up on that, I guess if you could, maybe as a bigger concept, if you have a widget, like if you could characterize the state of the widget, like if you have a user, they have whatever widget it might be, they've done something, or they click on something, they can share the state of the widget, and then we'll go into the URL as a parameter, so you can then shoot it to somebody else, and they can see what you are seeing yesterday, or whatever. The biggest case again is filtering by attribute layer, but maybe parameterizing another widget based on what these users have for.
Yeah, that's very sharing application state, including your intermediate generate data, if you will. It's a very complex business. So I won't give you a straight answer, but we were trying to deal with, give you some way you can do something about it. That's a good answer, right?
So now we call it durable URL.
But I really like this kind of a developer conversations, getting all the details. They know what we're dealing with actually. So that's interesting.
Team basically working on that, the durable URL.
Yeah.
Basically, what I see, that share, that link, it will be other people's what they see. That's weird design right now, working on that part. It's something is when I see select features, the map, those things already there. But if you ask me, every widget will share that state, I cannot say that. But that's our design, one of our design goals. We're trying to be there.
And we got a lot of fundamental things on the architecture level, actually try to make some certain function basically can add to the framework or add to the builder as like a plugin or extendable part. So once we get that out, you're looking to the actually the GIM framework, whatever it is, you might actually can develop something and can plug into it.
Okay.
Just one more follow on that. The reason that occurred to me though is because 90% of what we want to do for our viewer, the property map viewer, is simply I can share the link from me to you to zoom into a specific address. But once I realized I could do that, then I was like, I need to share other things. But
Yeah.
that's only because it already works so well.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Maybe we'll work with you to develop some new capability and as a plugin. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
When you create the map, are you using the REST APIs? And if yes, when you send the web queries, are you using
The JavaScript API. JavaScript API.
Now, we don't create the map now, we just configure to bring the web map in.
Yeah, but I mean, when you show the map,
Uh-huh.
you run filter query, you have to query the REST services.
Yeah.
And does it happen with the get or post method?
That's JavaScript
It's all
API.
JavaScript API, yeah. We're not reinvent anything underneath, right?
We don't call REST API directly most of the time. We just using JavaScript API to do things. That brings the question, because JavaScript API, you load the whole API, right? Then there's performance issue will be there. So our dev team basically saying in the widgets manifest, we add one property. It is JavaScript API dependency. If you claim it's dependency, when you reload that widget, we will load JavaScript API. But for example, text image, we don't use it. So for the first page, you just brand in your stuff, then performance will be great because we don't load JavaScript API until we have to. Until your widget claim I need this API. That's one of the fundamental change. Okay. Good. Okay, good.
Will we be able to migrate our current apps into Imagery?
That's a good
The
question.
short answer is no. It's no, there's a longer version. The short answer is no, because if you have an application running on a 3x and moving to 4x, you cannot just migrate, right? You have to do something about it. And there's a partner actually trying to do something more automated process, but it's very complex job to doing that. However, we as a developer team actually start thinking about to do something or create some helper tools to sort of make your job easier as migrating in terms of just write every code of it. But the longer answer is that we're working on something to help you to do that rather than just you're on your own. Yeah, that sort of thing.
Okay, that gentleman.
Is the developer edition when it comes to SaaS already installed, or do you have to do it separately with that?
Sorry, I didn't get a question.
Will SaaS be included in the developer edition or just included to
SaaS.
yeah.
SaaS will be
What's the
SaaS
question?
will be included in the developer edition.
So like with Web AppBuilder, if you want to use it as SaaS, you want to install the SaaS separately as a CSS prerequisite. So with experience with development edition, the SaaS will be included in the build.
I'm not sure
What is
about
SaaS?
that. That's why I don't know what is SaaS.
CSS prerequisites that you were talking about earlier.
Okay. CSS. You have your own style or anything?
Oh, there's the last session you talk about customization. Those UA and Gavin did on mobile for the thing. That part I don't know. Maybe we can ask those two guys. Actually, one of the guys, Iwei, is developer for the experience builder theme builder, so he knows it. Or you can stop by our booth. He will be there. Okay, thank you.
Are there any costs or licensing implications by using this tool?
Licensing.
Yeah, they're
Very good.
They're similar to Web AppBuilder actually. There is no unique licensing. Yeah.
So you have a creator user account, right? Then right now you can create apps. You can use the developer edition. That creator type user used to be called level 2 name user account. It's equivalent to creator. So if you already have ArcGIS Online or enterprise creator user type, you should be able to use Experience Builder. But that's for now.
Right. Okay.
Will the developer edition be available on GitHub?
Now we have a specific place to allow it. It's the same as the Web AppBuilder. The question is, if the developer edition are available from GitHub, no, you're gonna be downloaded from our website, Esri's website somewhere.
Currently, our problem is that we have to maintain widgets ourselves, so people to have to contribute even within the platform.
Well, we're not using the GitHub as a way to distribute the developer edition, and you have to. We're gonna have a documentation, also have a session talk about the best practice, how you actually develop widget, and that covered that your question pretty much is right. Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
What about story maps? Are you bringing story maps within the For me, what I'm noticing is I do have a story map, I customize it.
Yeah.
And I did Web AppBuilder, it's really easy to customize it. And then you see like configurable templates, and you kind of want it all to be in one framework so you're not switching. Like,
Yeah,
Very good
and
question.
the question is, what about story map? And now there's two aspects of this question. So one, if you look at, forget about technology, story map just one type of web application, right? And if you look that way, and obviously you can use even Web AppBuilder or Experience Builder to build a story map. You just come up your theme, just like we did for dashboard, right? Dashboard just a whole bunch of small windows linked up together. You want to present information. If you have the theme, we have a dashboard. So if you look that way, obviously we can, if you have the template, we can use the Web AppBuilder to generate the web app. So now underneath, from the product side, actually there's this product called a story map. There's a product called a dashboard, and it come with their own benefit to using it. So that means if you want to take advantage of actually the product offer you go with the story map product, you go with dashboard product. If you just want to simple, easy generate something and satisfied with the experience builder, you can just use an experience builder. Depends on need, really.
I just like the predictability of Web AppBuilder, the number of everything, and then the automatic structure, folder structure, running through easy versus. Seems like this right now is more complicated.
We are
Yeah.
our product starts with developer edition. We design for developers first,
Yeah.
then go to the
Yeah.
hosted version. Other products design is different way, right? It's just
Yeah.
hosted first, and then they have a need for developer extension, and they go down that way. That's why I think sometimes for us,
So
it's easier.
we're not preventing you to do anything. Actually, encourage it using one tool to solve all your problems. Obviously, so yeah, if you have the need, definitely want to support that.
It's more choices. I think dashboard, story map, they have their own focused area, right? Doing one thing, doing great. If you like it, then just go for it. Yeah, obviously, Experience Builder can do those kind of functionality as well. It's just your choice. So that's, from my perspective, more choice better.
So we have one more question. Sure, now.
Will there be a way to have Google Analytics included more simply?
Now the new Experience Builder has the things called the data source. That means you can configure or write your own data source, plug into the builder to present you information. That data source can be utilized by all the widgets available from the builder. Now, geoanalytics, that means it means a lot of things, right? One is that the data come from somewhere, or they generate from GP to somewhere, or different system maybe. Another thing is I want to visually present the data, right? All that can use the combination of the data source, the way of your creating the widgets, and this is more flexible layout, the way to presenting data. All together, really, you can do that. If you have
Google.
API or Google Analytics, yeah. There's two ways actually to deal with it. One is you put your Google Analytics, the things embedded into your own application, then you have all that, right? And later on, I mentioned it will help you manage your application. That means we're gonna have something to collect usage information as well. Now, are we gonna use Google Analytics or some other source? That's right now I cannot really talk about it, but it's definitely all possible. Yeah.
Thank
think
you
we're-
very much.
Yeah, we can talk here. Yeah.